Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. I think it's safe to say that the lawyers in our XRP community are among the best in the business, and that we're all aware of the SEC's and the government's catastrophic attitude. 2.5 years ago, you know. How come so many people didn't see this until, 5 minutes ago? 2 years ago, attorney Jeremy Hogan was already sounding the alarm about Binance. This week, Binance has also been obviously sued. Coinbase immediately filed suit the following day. As such, I feel compelled to bring this to your attention in order to give credit where credit is due, and to also give credit to attorney Morgan, who was warning about Gensler a couple of years ago, while others are like, oh, give them a chance or something along those lines. The thing is, he was correct in the end. Some of the foolishness that has followed these accusations against Binance has been explained by Fox Business journalist Eleanor Terrett. I'd want to update you on the broader effects of the recent changes at Robinhood and the departure of Crypto.com from the institutional U.S. market. It's fair. The quantity of unintended consequences caused by the SEC's attacks. Really, it's hard to believe. It is what it is, period. However, there is something I need to clarify before we go any further. I come from no financial or legal background. I am not qualified to give you financial or legal counsel. And you should not make any financial decisions based on what I write or say. I'm just a fan who occasionally dabbles in table setting by uploading amateur movies to YouTube on crypto-related topics. The SEC has requested an emergency order to freeze all Binance U.S. assets in any jurisdiction, according to a CNBC headline dated June 6. In other words, we can classify something as a whole. Consequently, Binance is being targeted by more than only the SEC. That includes related companies like Binance US, and there are other repercussions to discuss later. As I mentioned at the opening, Eleanor Terrett, a business writer for Fox News, was a great resource for me. But their only goal is to bring the company down. The SEC is taking unnecessary shots, as they wouldn't be making these additional attacks if they truly believed what they were saying about the legality of particular cryptocurrencies. This betrays the SEC's lack of good faith. According to Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn of the SEC, they are not acting in strict compliance with the law. Circumstances of AV Ripple. So, it's only fair that we give attorney Jeremy Hogan the praise he deserves. The following is an excerpt from one of his older legal briefs movies from a few years back, which he also posted. Exactly 2 years ago, we warned that the Binance token BNB posed an 8.5 out of 10 SEC risk, he stated. We look like Nostradamus, except that we predicted that Tether would be extremely dangerous, giving it an 11 out of 10. Aspiration of spinal fluid. That's hilarious. And Tether is working like a charm. Hogan Tether, an attorney, reports smooth sailing for the time being. What develops there remains to be seen. There is nothing I want to bring up as an aside against Tether, by the way. I have no experience with stable coins because I have never had a need for one. This is not to say that I won't try one out sometime in the future. If they were sufficiently forthright, though, I wouldn't have a problem with them. But I'll just add that Gary Gensler has made it very obvious that even stable coins fall within the scope of illegal securities, because if you're buying a stable coin, you're doing so with the expectation of profit. You wouldn't buy a stable coin for $1 expecting it to stay at that value, would you? Perhaps $2 or $3 is a reasonable estimate. It fails the Howey test in the stupidest possible way. I know. Dumb as a rock. However, here we are. True life, right there. So, attorney Hogan deserves credit for pointing this up. He gave a dire warning regarding Binance and the BNB cryptocurrency almost exactly 2 years ago. To their credit, Coinbase never issued its own token. The value of the BNB token has decreased by 15.87% during the past week. All of that negative price movement, however, happened after Binance was sued. The other 7 days are merely a sight of trade. As you can see, things suddenly drop off a cliff. Investors are safe now, thanks to the SEC. Do you think this is reassuring to investors? Not in this lifetime, damn it. They are simply hammering everything to pieces. They aren't constructors. They wrecked the place. The SEC is a vile government organization. Thanks should also go to Bill Morgan, an attorney and XRP community member. A tweet dated March 3, 2021, is provided below. I do not understand why anyone would view Gensler's confirmation as a good thing, he said almost 2 years ago. He may be the chairman of the SEC supervising the massive export of American blockchain innovation to Europe and Asia, and his comments seem to signal a determination to take action against cryptocurrencies. Another prophecy from Nostradamus fulfilled. He was right, and it is only now, a few years later, that this is happening and being confirmed. I can't count how many times I said something to the effect of, "It's just the things along these lines." Can Gary Gensler get any worse than Jay Clayton, I'd ask myself? Yes, of course, looking back on it now. Gary Gensler was admitted on the grounds that he was acquainted with Jay Clayton. He just messed everything up. That sucked a lot. It was a revolting sight. The situation couldn't seem to get much worse. "Hold my beer," Gensler said when he walked in. Oh, and he made a much bigger mess of things. To be honest with myself, I wasn't totally serious when I said those things. I was probably joking because Jay Clayton had messed up so badly. Like, I couldn't believe it. Is he going to go and make that situation noticeably worse by doing something? The solution was essentially amplification of existing practices. And then he comes along with his own dumbass ideas, like the fact that stablecoins are also securities. And this attack is aimed squarely at the exchanges themselves, which, if you're the SEC, is technically a fantastic idea. Brilliant, I know, but I'm not. When it comes to the central question of whether or not crypto assets themselves are unregistered securities, I remain unconvinced that they will succeed in their attacks on Coinbase and Binance. I don't think they're going to win on that stuff just because they exist, but I can see why they'd want to give it a shot. You can't sue, so I totally get that. There are currently over 20,000 distinct crypto projects, all of which are safe from assault. You can't possibly steal 20,000 bitcoins. But now we've reached the bottleneck. That is why they are acting in this way. So, Attorney Morgan also deserves credit for pointing this out. He was correct from the get-go. Even though I know I lied when I claimed I couldn't be any worse. What I was really thinking, I can't say. And I guess I was more or less impartial. But I'll concede that it was challenging in spots, and that inevitably someone will come along and outdo Jay Clayton. Oh my God, it just happened. I'll be the first to admit that I'm no Nostradamus. To add to this, Attorney Morgan tweeted yesterday, March 4, 2021, that he had nothing to add to his tweet from March 3, 2021, when he was still under confirmation as SEC chair. Every day, it seems more and more likely to be correct. My extensive work in fraud litigation is to blame. From far away, I can detect con artists. Deaton, an attorney, retweeted this and agreed with it. He claimed that, to his knowledge, only Bill had correctly predicted this result. To that end, he succeeded. In contrast to my own strategy, which consisted largely of hedging my bets, he came out and said he wasn't doing that here. He made quite an entrance. No, he replies, I have no idea what you're talking about. Things are about to go terrible. Giving credit where it is actually due is a must. I'm relieved to see that. And then, in terms of what I've read about Binance, there's an article I'd like to bring up. Yeah. Look at this, then. That, as I stated, is what happened on June 6th and 7th. Despite the SEC's attempt to freeze assets, Binance US assures its users that their money is safe. Besides that, though, consider this. Cointelegraph reported the news 17 hours ago, making headlines with Binance US suspending USD deposits and warning of a fiat withdrawal freeze. That's why I won't bother reading the article. To get to the point, though, yes, you may still use Binance to bring in and take out cryptocurrency. What you won't be able to do, though, is use their platform to bring fiat currency onto the site. You can't withdraw local currency from that exchange into your US bank account if you sell your cryptocurrency there. You would have to transfer your cryptocurrency to a separate platform that maintains banking ties if you wish to do so. So, I can probably verify the due date for this without much trouble. It was probably about the 9th or 13th of June around here, at least for the withdrawal part. Yeah. Channels, withdrawals. Yeah. It appears that day will be June 13th. Therefore, some time remains, though not much. If you're interested in doing that, you have a few days to do it. So, what exactly is the point? In other words, why in this location? We may certainly suspect something fishy is going on without resorting to full-blown conspiracy theory. Eleanor Turret, a business reporter for Fox News, however, confirms our suspicions on this front. She made the following tweets. "I can't stress this enough," she added, "because I heard it from someone in the sector who is connected to Binance, quote, Binance is actually, quote. This is happening because the SEC actively threatened the banking partners, end quote. Okay. The SEC is clearly a criminal organization. That bunch is full of criminals. Exactly, they are trying to frighten us. This is not what you do if you are following the law and making decisions based on that commitment. This is not acceptable behavior. You're wrong if that's what you believe, but that's great if it is. But I say, do it. It's nasty, though. It's bad news for those who invest. You're hurting the other person in the conversation as well as the person you're talking to. Isn't there also collateral to consider? They couldn't give a hoot less about it. They operate in a low and vile manner. Despicable. To be honest, I have no idea how you manage to keep it. That's why we may draw parallels to voting. The results of elections matter. And what exactly is going on here? Other than the relevance to money and cryptocurrencies, I won't discuss politics here. But what I'm saying is, cast your ballot however you choose. Despite this, I'm not going to vote just on a single problem. However, I will tell you anything about any candidate. Henceforth, supportive of crypto. I'm not going to put a dollar amount on it because I'm private that way, but it's substantial, like the degree to which I've been harmed by this, and I'm sure it's true for so many of you listening. I'm not an outlier incident here, so you're much more likely to get my vote because of that. Everything in this area is being pummeled. Vote for the current government if that's what you're looking for, they share those ideas. Okay. Please do so. Your moral compass is strong. For the time being, just accept that as true. You should know that by voting against crypto, you are actively hurting your financial situation. Indeed, that is the case. Is a change in leadership at the SEC possible without a change in administration? Probably not, in my opinion. And here is another thing. Crypto.com, a Singaporean cryptocurrency exchange, said on Friday that it will cease serving U.S. institutional clients as of June 21st. This is the latest piece of bad news from CoinDesk. The exchange stated that the current market conditions have resulted in weak demand from institutional clients. What does that signify, in your opinion, folks? The current state of the market? Reading between the lines isn't that difficult, is it? If that's the case, then demand is low. I'm going to trust them on their word. Sure, let's assume that for the moment. Explain why it is the case. Because of the administration. Government, please. I'm sorry, Kim Jong-Gensler. You are the worst person ever. The worst case scenario. This has further repercussions, then. And here is another thing. This was being tweeted about by Paul Barron. However, this is being covered by both niche crypto outlets and major news outlets. This is a blow to Robinhood. The following is an official Robinhood screen cap given by Paul Barron. Since it's addressed to him, it appears as though there are actually two emails. Claiming that certain cryptocurrencies are unregistered securities, the SEC filed lawsuits against cryptocurrency exchanges Binance and Coinbase earlier this week, as reported by Bloomberg. Solana, Polygon, and Cardano are just some of the cryptocurrencies presently supported by Robinhood. Because of the ensuing uncertainty, our team has made the decision to discontinue providing maintenance for these assets. So, I have one of the three cryptocurrencies mentioned above, Cardano, and have done so since 2017. No, Dad, you don't owe me anything. Government. Thank you very much for nada. Again, it's only reducing my wealth. Considering that it's your custom. It stinks to high heaven. It's... You know what else? After seeing what happened to Coinbase and Binance, it's clear that Robinhood hasn't learned anything from the experience. Specifically, Coinbase. Both can be evaluated based on their statements and stances, but Coinbase stands out due to its decision to remove XRP from its platform. That helped them, right? No. They continue to face endless lawsuits. Therefore, if they believe that firing these three will improve corporate performance, they are mistaken. By giving up to the SEC, you have lost a valuable commercial opportunity. This, if anything, fails miserably. That's common knowledge, after all. The entire cryptographic system is under attack. You also lack courage. You have no courage at all. I take that you're saying Robinhood doesn't have the money to wage war. You see, there are a handful of reasons that you might not see, and I've said that before. The SEC is met with resistance from most businesses. The problem is, you lack the courage to follow through. The second is that monetary resources are now inadequate. Obviously, it's pointless to even try to get started if you don't have the money to do so. You simply cannot accomplish this. That's clear to me as well. That's the simple solution, then. Here, though, it seems that Robinhood has the resources to fight back, but lacks the intestinal fortitude to do so, which is reprehensible. Yes, that's the case. Indefensible. This is not in any way beneficial to them. They have no backbone, period. The linguini in this area has a spine. One problem with that is that it won't work if you ever lose access to your funds. Okay, I get what you mean. Most projects lack the ability to adequately counteract. Still, Robinhood. What a complete surrender. No, I don't give out financial advice. Nothing I say or write should be used as a basis for making financial decisions. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.